Yechi adonainu, morainu, Melech, hamoshiach. Welcome to the summary of Dvar Malchus at Dvar Malchus that the Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit himself handed out to every one of the chassidim on the Tesvav of Iyar, Tafshan Aleph, the first Siman Aleph. Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit brings down the Rambam in Hilchas Malachim and Chamasei Melech Moshiach Parak Aleph. Over there, the Rambam writes that anyone does not believe in Moshiach or wait for Moshiach, he's denying his krefer and Tora Moshe Rabbeinu. Why? The Torah says in the pasuk, "V'shav Hashem halekecha shvuscha." Hashem will return your captives from Galus. And then he continues. The Rambam writes, "Af Parshas Bilam, the prophet, also prophesies that Mashiach, and he said a bunch of psukim. I see him not now. A whole poem about David the Mashiach, 4 stages. David Mashiach 4 times. Ask the Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit. The Rambam is not here to explain me the verses of the Torah. Why does the Rambam go through the entire Nevuah of Bilam? And then next pasuk, this is David, this is Mashiach. David Mashiach. Well, what's the point of explaining all this? This is the Rambam brings 2 proofs: V'shavas shvuscha, that I'll return as captives, and at end of Le'ata I see David the Mashiach. Is understood why? Because the Rambam is proving not only you have to believe there will be a redemption, that you will come back to Yisrael. Rather, you have to believe as me a person, a king. He is Mashiach. Therefore, the Rambam has to bring a second proof. Not only V'shav, that we will return from exile, rather also there will be a king, an Evleatom. Or why does the Rambam have to explain every single one of the psukim? The Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit suggests that maybe the reason why the Rambam brings the psukim explaining also David and also Mashiach could be to strengthen our belief. When I say that Mashiach is not a new thing, there already was a Mashiach before David, which is Mashiach. I'll strengthen our belief that soon there will be another Mashiach. It's not a new thing. Or like I'll say, look, if there's one prophecy partially speaking about David and partially speaking about Mashiach, and the part of David was fulfilled, it's also Mashiach will be fulfilled. However, the Rebbe Melech Moshiach says that still, even if I want to bring both, I have to explain each one of the psukim, which one is David, which is Mashiach. So it's not understood. You have to understand this. Other question, next halacha, halacha base, in the same paragraph, Rambam brings another proof. It says that Hashem will widen the lands, boundaries of Israel. He will add 3 more miklat, cities of refuge. Ask the Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit, why is the second proof in a separate halacha, in a separate law? If you want to say each proof have its own halacha, so then also the first 2, it should be in 2 different halachas. If you want to put the first 2 together, put the third one together with the first. And also, why does Rambam write Arei Miklat? Why did he mention that? Where is it? What's the source of Arei Miklat? Another question that Melech Moshiach Shlit asks is, why does the Rambam call David Mashiach? Looking for a redeemer? Moshe Rabbeinu was a redeemer. Looking for someone that was Mashiach, he was anointed with oil. Also, Shaul was anointed. Why is David Mashiach? Also, in the third halacha, the Rambam writes, don't think that Mashiach will do miracles or he will do resurrection of the dead. Don't think so. And the main thing is, Torah mitzvahs is forever. Ask the Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit, what is the connection between not thinking that Mashiach has to do miracles and Torah mitzvahs being forever? What's the connection? Why you shouldn't think Mashiach does miracles, rather Torah mitzvahs forever? Why does one have to do with the other? Also, in the next halacha, the 4th halacha, the Rambam writes the signs of Mashiach. If a king will come up from the house of King David, someone that's fully involved with learning Torah and keeping mitzvahs, he forces all the people around, Yachav Kaisal Torah mitzvahs, and he fights wars for Hashem, that is chazaka, he is a Mashiach. If he wins and he gathers all the nation, all the Yidden, and he builds the Beis Hamikdash, he Mashiach vaed. So again, Rambam brings a bunch of ideas of Mashiach will bring. Why does the Rambam bring the great things that Mashiach will be a great prophet, and he'll be smarter than Shlomo Melech? Why? Rambam brings here simple things. Torah mitzvahs, Jewish people, gathering in Israel, but the Beis Hamikdash, but what happened to all the big things that Mashiach will do? Rebbe Melech Moshiach Shlit starts explaining. We see something unique. The laws of Mashiach, of the kingdom of Mashiach, the Rambam puts in the last thing. Seemingly, the first mitzvah when you come to Eretz Yisrael has to be to appoint a king. So that should have been earlier. Rather, the Rambam puts Mashiach last because that is a purpose. Rambam writes 14 books of halachas. These are halachas. And what's the end of Mashiach? Why? He's saying, when will all this happen? when Moshiach comes. And the Rambam, when he's describing Moshiach, he's not describing things that Moshiach will do. Oh, how nice to know. No. Rambam is telling you halacha. This is the halacha Moshiach has to do. This is what Moshiach is all about. And this is how he will come, and that's what you have to believe. Rambam writes that Moshiach will come and he will bring back the kingdom of David the Melech, and he will build a Beis Hamikdash and come to the sichos. What's the point behind all this? Moshiach is bringing a time that all Torah and mitzvahs can be fulfilled. Right? That's the purpose of Moshiach. And that's why, where did Rambam prove it from? Rambam, this opinion that the whole point of Moshiach is a time we can fulfill all 613 commandments, Rambam proves for the first proof that we said in the beginning. V'shavas was when all the Yidden come back to Iyar Israel, that gives the possibility to start keeping Torah and mitzvahs. There will be no more exile. Jews will be redeemed. They will be in Israel. Then the Rambam brings a second proof from Bilam that what? That there's a David, there's a Moshiach, there's a king. It means there's not just going to be a redemption, it's going to be a king, it's going to be a Moshiach, that he is going to be the one bringing back all the Torah and mitzvahs. And that's why the Rambam writes that whoever doesn't believe it, he's a kafir. Why do I care over here if he's a kafir or not? The Rambam is talking about the laws of Moshiach. Teach me laws of Moshiach. Laws of kafir teach me in a law, different place, the place of Hilchas Tshuva. Why? I'm trying to tell you that Moshiach is not just another thing. That is the whole point of Torah and mitzvahs. Therefore, the Rambam brings in a separate halacha, the proof of cities of refuge. Why? Because what do you see in cities of refuge? Cities of refuge was never completed before. It's a mitzvah that only 6 we already have. The last we never had. So I'm saying, look, not only will we be returning mitzvahs, it's a mitzvah that we never was fulfilled before, and therefore it will be fulfilled. And that's why the Rambam writes, don't think Moshiach will do miracles and change the world and resurrect the dead. Rather, Torah is everlasting. What's the connection? Because the whole point of Moshiach is what? The whole point of Moshiach is to bring back all Torah mitzvahs. Bring back, and therefore, because the whole point of Moshiach is just to bring all back Torah mitzvahs, if you say Moshiach has to do miracles, that means that Torah mitzvahs need miracles. It means Torah mitzvahs is not really relevant. And therefore, he says, no, don't think Torah mitzvahs are everlasting. And because they're everlasting, Moshiach will bring them back. Moshiach will bring them back how? In a natural way. That's the... And what do we see? What are the signs of Moshiach? Moshiach is a sign that he comes from David the Melech. He's a king himself. He is learning Torah, keeping mitzvahs. He's encouraging everyone around him to Torah mitzvahs, and he fights for Hashem. That makes him Becheskes Moshiach. Why? We see a man that he is able to bring Moshiach. He is able to bring about a time that everyone fulfills Torah mitzvahs. However, when he does it actually, when he already builds the mitzvah and gathers all the Jewish people, then Moshiach vaed. And Rebbe Melech and Moshiach, this says the 4 stages that Rambam brings regarding Moshiach are the 4 psukim are the 4 stages of Moshiach. The first psukim, I see him, that's the first proof. We know it must be a king from Beis David. The first sign is a king from David, and he's Haygib Torah, he's learning Torah mitzvahs. The second pasuk is Darach Keichev Miyakev, will be a star. Come share with me, Israel. What does it show? And the second proof that what does Moshiach have to do? Not only be himself, learn Torah mitzvahs, but Yachiv Kol Yisrael, to force all the Jewish people that should also go into Torah mitzvahs. What's the third proof? Umachatz pasay Moav, he will break away the edges of Moav. The Karkar Kol Bnei Shesh, he will uproot all sons of Shesh. Shesh was the son of Adam Rishon. What does that mean? All the world, in other words. And Moshiach will fight against Yilchem Mechem Hashem, will fight against all other people. And the last part, when that's the completion of Mashiach. Now Mashiach will fix the whole world, that everyone will serve Hashem. Now why do we need the last? What's the uniqueness of the fourth over the third? The third, that he will fight against the nations. What's the last idea? Because the difference between when you conquer somebody, when you inherit. When you conquer, it's against their will. And the completion of Mashiach won't be just he will force against their will. Rather, he'll inherit them. They, the nations themselves, come to recognition of Mashiach, and they will know that he is, and they will choose him. It won't be just with force. Or they themselves, they will recognize it. And through the Emunah Shlema about Mashiach, and waiting for Mashiach, which waiting for Mashiach includes learning from Mashiach. Well, that in itself will hurry up and bring closer to the coming of Mashiach. Makarev Mamosh. Yechi adonainu, morainu vaed Melech hamoshiach le'elam vaed.